Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to Do Station with another video. We are here. I hope you are good, you are doing good, you are learning, and my efforts are helping you guys. We are doing our series on the fundamental concepts in HSE, in which we are learning important terminologies of HSE. So we are here for new terminologies. So today we will cover the causes of the incidents, immediate causes, unsafe acts, unsafe conditions, underlying causes, then root causes. So it is very important topic, especially if you want to increase your skill related to investigation of the incidents. So this will be very helpful for you. So also, if you have any feedback, any suggestions, please share with me. And thanks a lot for your kind feedback, support. So let's go to our today's topic and understand. Welcome to presentation, everyone. We are covering our series of fundamental concepts in HSE, in which we are understanding the critical or important terminologies in HSE. So this is a fifth video in this series. So let's look at the introduction. We know that the fundamental concepts or terminologies we are covering are very important for someone to understand, have a good understanding of these concepts and terminologies. So he can make his practices of HSE on the field more practical, more practicable, and more effective. So that is why let's see which terminologies we are going to cover today. So basically, in the last video, we covered the terminologies related to the incident. Today also, we are covering the terminologies which are related to incident, the causes of incident basically. They include immediate causes, including unsafe acts and unsafe conditions, then underlying causes, then root causes. So we will cover them. Let's understand them. So let's first understand how to define the causes or describe them. So as per ILO, International Labour Organization, the circumstances, actions or conditions that lead to an undesired event such as injury, illness or damage to the property or the environment, or the factors, conditions that can lead to the accidents, injuries or adverse events. So basically what are the causes? First, we know that we defined in previous videos, incidents are basically the events which are unwanted and unplanned and they have potential to cause us harm. So we also know that all the jobs or activities we are doing are also the sets of events that we execute in a sequence, but they are wanted. And incidents are events which are unwanted. So how these unwanted events happen? Because of the some circumstances or actions which are behind them. So those actions or circumstances are basically called uh, causes of the incident. So basically they have three types: immediate causes, underlying causes, and root causes. So let's separately understand them. So let's first understand what are the immediate causes. So immediate causes, basically let's define them first. The direct and often most apparent factors that lead to an incident or accident. Direct factors that trigger or the occurrence of an incident. So basically, the immediate causes are the causes which are directly related or connected with the incidents. These are the causes that eventually trigger or execute the last event, which is called incident. So these are very apparent. We can see them apparently. They are visible, and obviously we can address them immediately. So the key note for this, they are immediately identifiable, addressable. We see them. We can see them. And also we can remove them immediately or correct them immediately, but their solution, these solutions are temporary solutions. So let's understand with example. Let's say there is a some liquid spill or water spill in the area. The worker was passing by, so he put his feet on the liquid and he slipped and fall down. So this is an incident now. So why it happened? It happened due to the spillage of the water or liquid slippery surface. So this is the immediate cause that basically triggered the incident. So it has two types basically. Basically, there are two factors or two conditions that are the reason of triggers of any incident, which called unsafe act or unsafe condition. So one must keep in mind that when an incident happens, the eventual or the final factor that executes the incident can be either unsafe act or it can be unsafe condition. So let's understand them now. Okay, now let's understand what is unsafe act. So unsafe act is an action or oversight that can lead to injury or illness and is typically result of the human error or behavior. So let's how to understand it. So basically, unsafe act is an action by the person or individual which is unsafe or against the rules and regulation, and he conduct it intentionally or unintentionally, which is wrong or unsafe. Also, it is the oversight or ignorance of the actions maybe others are doing which are unsafe, and he knows that this is unsafe and wrong, and he takes no action. So these things are called unsafe acts. They may be intentional or maybe unintentional, maybe human error or the behavior. So let's understand them with examples. So failure to follow the procedure is a or rules is a unsafe act. Maybe it may be intentional or unintentional or by mistake or behavioral issue. Like smoking is prohibited in the organization other than designated area, but you smoke there just because you don't know and someone was smoking there. You also joined him and start smoking, or maybe you know that it is prohibited here, but the smoking area is little far away and you don't want to go there and you look around, nobody is there, and you sit there and start smoking. So this is unsafe act. Then you are provided with personal protective equipments and you are not using them, or you are not using them correctly. So this is also unsafe act. Horseplay, you are doing jokes with people, practical jokes like so this is unsafe act. Similarly, you are changing the your equipment, like removing the guards from your equipment because you are not comfortable with them. So this is also unsafe act. Or you are taking the shortcuts, you are not following the complete procedures or sequence of the steps, rather you just take the shortcut. So these are all unsafe acts. Similarly, you receive some warnings like maybe there is a signboard written on there, there is a danger ahead, and you just ignore them. You don't notice them. Or maybe near misses, you are just ignoring them. This is a part of life. Nothing bad will happen. So things like that. And you ignore any warnings that come across with the passage of time. And then it may lead to the big or serious issue. So these are all the examples of unsafe acts. So now let's understand why these unsafe acts happen. So firstly, in competency, the competency is a crucial factor to perform your job safely, correctly, and effectively. So maybe the worker is lacking the competency; he is not competent enough. For the competent person, four things are very crucial: knowledge, ability, training, and experience. Maybe a worker don't have the sufficient or appropriate knowledge related to the job he is doing. Then maybe he is not capable of doing that. He don't have the ability to perform some specific job. It may be mental or physical. Like for the manual handling, maybe we need someone with a very strong physical state. And then trainings, obviously, we are dealing with the technical gadgets, equipments that may require some specialized training or something. So maybe the worker is lacking that. So that is why he's doing unsafe acts. And then experience is the very important one, because obviously you are new to the site or organization, or if you don't know how the things practically happening there, what are the conditions, which conditions are dangerous, and how to behave or how to behave safely in the different situations or circumstances. So as your experience, you gain experience, you are more aware, you get more familiar, you get more knowledge, and then you have a better understanding how things go wrong, how can things go wrong, and how to react in those circumstances. So maybe if someone is lacking any of them, so he's doing the unsafe act. There is another fifth factor that is related to the competency, which is a risk perception. With risk perception is the natural ability of each person, which varies person to person, that let a person to judge or perceive the level of the risk, potential risk around him. So basically, it develops as you get more and more experience. Your brain develop a system in the back of the mind that basically taking the information, different information, and interpreting them, and then letting you know and giving you the assessment of different potential risks around you. So then the impulsivity or the overconfidence, young people are very prone to the temptations. So maybe they can just to show, because as they are not mature enough now and they don't have the better view of the real world. So maybe they are just to prove something like they can do anything. So maybe they can do some unsafe act. Then overconfidence, someone is doing a same thing for 10 years, 15 years, and never nothing bad happened ever. But maybe there is some areas of improvement, but he is not analyzing the situation or understanding the situation, and he is convinced that he has sufficient correct knowledge and experience, so he keeps doing the same thing again and again. So these are, maybe that is the why he is doing unsafe acts. Then physical or mental fatigue, maybe worker is physically very tired, doing overwork, maybe mentally fatigued, he has some sort of stress, problems, worries. So maybe these can lead to the unsafe act. Then peer group pressures and social influences, these are very crucial factors. Basically, peer group pressure is the influence that comes on a person or individual from his seniors, colleagues, co-workers, uh, and that shapes their attitudes, behaviors, decisions, and the actions. So, for example, new people, they are very eager to get acceptance between the other people who are already working there. So maybe they are doing something. He knows that the old people are doing something wrong, and just to get their acceptance or approval, he adopts the same habits or just to influence them. And then maybe fear of something, maybe a new worker, there is a bad culture in the organization, nobody is following safety. A new worker comes there, he fears that if I will do something different, so maybe that can be dangerous for me. Power dynamics also, which may even influence the very senior people of the organization working for a long time within organization, just to keep maintain the power balance or just to be the part of the power circle within the organization. So these are the factors that can lead to the unsafe act. Now, how to prevent them? Provide the appropriate training to the workforce so they know how to execute their job safely, and provide the supervision so they know that someone is looking at them. Then encourage the safety first. First of all, management need to show its own commitment and show that they are willing to adopt the HSE or improve the HSE. Then implementing, developing and implementing, and then enforcing the safety procedures protocols. If someone does a good job, is doing good job, then appreciate it, reward it. If someone not following, then take the disciplinary action to make sure that everybody is following the rules and regulations of the organization. And then obviously implement and then develop and implement the monitoring system, conduct inspections, surveys, audits to make sure that everything is going right, and then analyze the information, then check the performance level now and then based on that, make new plans or action plans to improve your safety. And also the most important one, engage your employees or workforce with you in the HSE related matters. So once you will engage them, they will take the ownership. So if once they will take the ownership, obviously then they will be happily or eagerly do the safety, and they will adopt the HSE practices. So this is how we can save the unsafe acts. Okay, now let's understand what are the unsafe conditions. Basically, a situation or circumstances that has the potential to cause injury or illness and typically related to the work environment, equipment, or material. Any hazardous physical state or environment in the workplace that could lead to the accident, injury, or illness. So simply saying that if on the workplace, the environment of the if there is any situation or condition in the work environment that is hazardous or dangerous to the safety, health, and safety of the worker, business, or environment, so such condition is called unsafe condition. So now let's understand with examples. So if you don't, maybe you don't have appropriate, effective, robust HSE standards, procedures, protocols, and policy. So that is very big unsafe condition. Then maybe your chemicals or substances you are not maintaining or handling them safely. They are posing some danger or creating unsafe conditions. Maybe you develop the procedures, but you are unable to implement them effectively. Then again, lighting or ventilation. Maybe there are bad condition of lighting or ventilation on the workplace, so that this is a unsafe condition. Then poorly maintained or defective equipment. Maybe you are not inspecting your equipment on time regularly, or you are not maintaining them correctly. So this is creating unsafe conditions. Then inadequate guarding or lotto procedures. Maybe you develop some procedures like lotto, lockout, tag out, and permit to work systems, but you are unable to implement them effectively on the site. So this is a examples of unsafe conditions which are dangerous. Then maybe inadequate emergency response plans. Your emergency, how will you tackle any emergency if it happens? So maybe their procedures are not good, sufficient, or maybe they are good, but you are unable to implement them or practice them or communicate them effectively to your workforce, and your workers are not aware of them. So these are the examples of some unsafe conditions. So now let's understand why these unsafe conditions happen basically. So maybe lack of commitment, HSE is not the priority. Management is not serious to the HSE. They are not giving priority to HSE. Maybe your procedures are not robust. You are not inspecting or maintaining your equipment. Then maybe the fault is in your process design, or manufacturing design, so or installation. So maybe by built they are not good. Then maybe poor housekeeping again. You developed some procedures and you are unable to implement them on effectively. Then training, lack of training, workers are not trained how to conduct, behave or behave safely. Then lack of or ineffectiveness or inadequacy of your HSE related procedures or protocol. So how can you avoid these conditions or make your workplace more safe and sound? So obviously, first of all, commitment, show the commitment to HSE, make your HSE policy, make effective procedures to HSE. Then develop and implement monitoring is very important. You develop something and you implement it, and then you need to monitor it to check the performance level. Obviously, so take data, get it, do inspections, surveys, audits, then analyze the information how you are performing. If you are performing good, then that's good, and keep improving. Find new areas of improvement, make new action plans. If you are not performing good, then find out the root causes. Why are you failing? Why your procedures are failing? Why your protocols are failing? Identify them, make action plans, and correct them. Then all the procedures related to safety, like housekeeping, inspections, investigations. So develop and implement them effectively. Then reporting and investigation process or also feedback is very important. Develop it them and then implement them. Get a lot of data and analyze it correctly, effectively to make sure that and make action plan. And so these are the way how you, to avoid any type of unsafe conditions. Okay, so now let's understand what are the underlying causes. So these are basically the hidden factors that contribute to an incident or accident, often not immediately apparent and require some investigation to uncover. Understanding these underlying causes is essential to uncover root causes and develop effective corrective actions. So look, so basically these are the causes that trigger the immediate causes, and then those immediate causes trigger the incident. So basically these are, we can say that causes behind the immediate causes are called in underlying causes. So it is very important to understand them so we can find or we can uncover the root causes, which are the actual culprit of the situation or that led to the incident. So we can correct them and we can avoid the reoccurrence of the incident in the future. So let's understand with some example. So let's say number one is failure to follow the procedure, that is underlying cause. Let's smoking example again. So worker is smoking in an area where the smoking is prohibited. So smoking in there is immediate cause, but there is a procedure that says that smoking is not allowed here. Even then he is smoking there. So this is a he is not following the procedure. So that is underlying cause why he is smoking there. Similarly, insufficient training, worker is given something equipment, machinery or some task. He is not trained of that, so he don't know how to do it. So that is underlying cause. Similarly, poor communication. You communicated some instructions, but he could not understand. The receiver could not understand due to some reason, maybe noise or some other. So that is why poor communication. Similarly, inadequate resource allocation. You are not providing the appropriate or sufficient resources to implement HSE. Also, the failure to enforce the safety, like the procedures are there, but management is failing to enforce them on the site. So this is these causes are called underlying causes. Okay, now let's understand what are the root causes. The most fundamental underlying reason that contribute to the event that led to the occurrence of the incident or factors that trigger, initiate, or initiate the sequence of the events that eventually resulted into the incident. Identifying and addressing the root causes is crucial for implementing the effective and long-term preventive measures. Let's understand them. So basically, the root causes are the causes that, on the first hand, initiated or triggered the sequence of the events that ultimately resulted into the incident. So basically, we know that all the activities that we are doing are the events that we are performing in the sequence as they are wanted and they are unplanned. At the same time, incidents are also the events, but they are not wanted and unwanted. And the root causes are the culprits that basically, on the first hand, initiate or trigger those chain of or chain reaction of the events or the sequence of the events that ultimately results into the incident. And if we want to avoid reoccurrence of the incident and we want to stop them, so obviously it is very important to uncover the root causes and address them correctly so our solution so that our solutions can be more effective and longer term. So now let's understand with some examples. So basically the root causes are the causes which are related to most of the time management systems and our procedures, policies. So in let's say in the where the culture is very bad, in the organizational culture is very bad, negative to HSE. So there, the obviously your policies or your procedures are very weak, and they do not cover the HSE effectively. Similarly, maybe in your training management system is very bad, or you are unable to identify the gaps or training required for the workers, so they can increase. You can increase their competency, their knowledge, skills. So, or the poor design or engineering. If the by default the built design of your process or equipment is faulty, then obviously that is also a root cause. Then obviously your maintenance procedures or the systems are not correct. In the underlying causes, we saw that you are not there was a procedure, but you are not implementing them. But in the root cause is that basically maybe your procedure is inaccurate, incorrect, or maybe inadequate. That is not covering all the aspects which are required to ensure the safety or implement HSE. Similarly, effective communication methods, maybe the methods you are adopting for the communicating the HSE related matters, so or information, those are not correct method or maybe not effective method, poor method. So, so such causes are root causes. And for any organization, it is essential to identify and cover all the root causes and then correct them. So this is a tough to correcting the root causes is a time consuming and require too much of the effort. But obviously, these are the causes. If we address them, obviously, then we can implement the HSE effectively. So we covered all the topics. Let's conclude them. So we understood immediate causes basically that triggers the incident directly, immediately apparent after the incidents usually. And these are unsafe acts or unsafe conditions. Unsafe acts are basically human error or human behavior. Unsafe conditions are the physical conditions at the workplace which endanger the health safety of the workers or environment or the business. Then underlying causes are the causes which are basically behind the immediate causes or which are triggering the immediate causes. Those are called the underlying causes. Then there are root causes. Basically, these are the real culprits which basically initiate or trigger the event sequence of the event that eventually results into the incident. So, for as an organization, it is very important for us to always look for the root causes, identify them, uncover them, and then effectively control them so we can avoid the incidents at workplace. That's it for today. I hope this video will be helpful for you, beneficial for you. Thank you for watching and your support. So until the next video, stay safe and healthy. So see you in the next video. Until then, Allah Hafiz.